Welcome back to NC Bass, and today I'm at Queen's Landing, Lake Norman. Back to where I love the fish. I've been back since the tournament. Shad spawn is full on right now, so hopefully that's why I got here so early, so I can still fish it in the dark. Might not be able to see it on video very good, but topwaters should be killing. Shad should be spawning on these rocks. Eat it. Got it. Got a little spot. Retread. Terrible cast. That's a thick one. I'll take it. That's one fish on top water. Boat show up. And he's had a cold tag in him, so that's a good, I don't know, 1 3/4. Oh yeah, good God, that's a good fish right there actually. He nailed the crank. And he's fighting, definitely a spot. Not gonna flip down. Nope, nope. That's a solid spot right there. Can't get the big engine to start and got a dead battery. I'm still catching fish. Always a fish on that drop off right there. Hunter boats practicing for the Open this weekend, the Bassmaster Open. That fish is long and skinny. Probably don't even weigh 2 pounds. It's probably 19 inches long. There we go. Spinnerbait got hit. Just gotta slow it down. Go, finally. No trolling motor, but I can still catch a fish. Trying to catch them on top waters, but every time I pick the spinnerbait up, I get hit. He's a little guy. He's actually a keeper, but he's really skinny. I'll take it. I got, it's about 1.5 pounds. Real skinny. There we go. Oh, I was about to leave this spot. They won't hit the top waters, guys. I really wanted to get them on top waters, but they're hitting the classic shad spawn baits, the crankbait and the spinnerbait. I might lose him on the flip, but he's not big. Yep, thought he might come off. He's another little 15-incher. About 1.5 pounds. Hey, we got 4 fish. They're all keepers. I ain't complaining. Probably won't throw it later. There we go. And there's fish back here. This ain't quite the size I'm looking for. This is the smallest fish of the day. Oh God, yeah. Thought he was a little bigger than that. Look at that spotted bass. That's about all I catch here nowadays. Little spot. There we go. Come on. No, this is very little. I love the Spro Little John, guys. He's just super small. These fish definitely have energy with this water temp getting in the 70s now. Definitely. So much for topwaters. These shad love to spawn on these little ramps like that. I don't know why. They like the rocks too, but when the rocks only go a couple of foot in the water, that ramp goes way out in the water, they'll come out and spawn on it. They'll spawn on any hard surface, grass even, but not in this lake. Shad will spawn on just about anything. Well guys, since my big fish come in a tournament come on the spray Little John, and most of my fish this morning come on the spray Little John, little crankbait. I mean, similar crankbait would work too, but I have a lot of confidence in this little guy right here. Spro Little John MD50. I've caught a ton of fish on this. Caught a 7.5 pounder last winter on this. I mean, this bait's great. It's good at imitating the shad while the shad are spawning. I've caught a lot of fish on it. The key to it is you got to hit off structure. It's a 7 to 9 foot diving crank. I got it on 12-pound fluoro, and you're throwing it in the rocks. You got to retie a lot, but you want to throw it up in the riprap or on the ramp like over there, and you got to be banging off stuff. If you're not hitting stuff, you're not going to catch them. I'm throwing it on a 6.3 reel, so not too slow, but a little bit slower. You don't want nothing too fast with a crankbait. It's not a big crankbait, so you don't need like a winch or something huge. But I like to throw it on fluoro. I mean, maybe mono in the wintertime, but you need to throw it on fluoro right now. And you got to experiment, see what the day the fish are wanting it when it bounces off, or just on a pause. Like, they don't want it crazy banging off stuff. They just want it on the pause. There's so many shad there. You don't know how many fish are following your bait, and they change direction. That's when they'll hit it. Like spotted bass like to follow baits, and then they'll hit it right when you're pulling up to the boat, or right when you hit a rock. Every time I got a bite today, it's been right on. Hit a rock and pause, bam, they've hit it. So that's really the main thing. If you're throwing a crankbait, you can't just be winding it and not hitting the bottom. I'm throwing this up in like a foot of water, and really getting most of my bites in about 4 foot of water, 3 to 4, maybe 5 foot of water. That's how you're going to catch fish on the crankbait. And that's just my tip for today. There we go. I knew I'd catch one on the shaky head. I mean, it's easiest way to catch fish here. He's definitely post spawn. He wanted it. Post spawn fish right there if I ever seen one. Hit that pole, then that pole. First time picking shaky head up today, already catching fish. He barely has a tail. He'll still probably go about 1.5 pounds. He's just real skinny. These fish are mostly post spawn. I'd say they're all post spawn really. There might be a couple fish upriver still spawning, but they're about done with the spawn. Shad spawn's full on, but I ain't really producing off of it. Seem to always catch a fish off this dock. There we go. Not a bad fish actually for a shaky head. No, never mind. Couldn't see him in the sunlight hardly. First dock I pick up the shaky head on, I've already pulled out 2. I'm gonna try to keep catching moving baits, but they're decent fish. They're not big. But my goodness. Time I throw the shaky head, I get a fish. I mean, I don't want to throw the shaky head, but gosh, you can't argue with the results. It gets a fish every cast. I was wondering why it didn't hit the bottom, because he ate it. It's another, probably about 1.6. Oh God. He felt big, but he's not. I'm telling you, it's the poles, guys. You got to get it on the poles. You got to have your rod. Well, these spot remover shaky heads too. Get your rod real high in there, and it makes that little trick worm stand straight up. Another 1.5 pounder. The lake's full of them. You can tell he's been caught before, recently. I mean, what other lake can you have? You can catch 10 fish when your trolling motor isn't even working. I knew there'd be one over there, finally. Had to make the right cast. Come to the back of the boat to catch him. Well, we're on a little bit of a drought here. He's in the shadiest spot in the lake. And another shaky head fish. He's post spawn too. Water temp's like 73, 74. Finally. Gosh. Been struggling. It ain't bad, but it's the same as the rest of them. About time. He's throwing up a blueback herring, it looks like. It's another solid fish. Not very big though. Typical shaky head fish. Look at that. I just threw this rod because I was hung up, and there we go. That's a decent fish. The shaky head got hung up through the sluggo, and a decent fish come out of it. One of the better sized fish we caught today. Yes. Probably the second biggest fish of the day. Heck yeah. Got it. With a rope. Go over the. Well, I was about to call it a day, but I'll try this one more stretch and little spot. He's in pretty deep water. I'll take it though. Shaky head fish. Taking off with it. Well, can't catch a fish when it's sunny. Finally. Another one. Not very big. He's on the bank though, in the shade. Well, we're going to call it an early day since my trolling motor's pretty much done. I mean, my engine start battery was dead, so I had to take one of my trolling motor batteries to use it for the engine start battery. It was so dead it wouldn't even jump off. Got drained. The battery got drained. Something was left on, I guess. So I had one 12-volt, one battery for a 24-volt trolling motor. It's been barely crawling all day. But I talk a lot of crap about this lake. But what other lake can you come to where you can catch 15 fish with a broke boat? I mean, this is a numbers lake, and you can catch fish here all day. The shatter spawn this morning, the bite was nice. We were catching them, even with the engine trouble. But as soon as the sun came up, it got hard to catch them. I mean, even on the shaky head, I've been getting a bite here and there, maybe about every 3 docks, and it's just not the size fish I want to catch. This morning though, caught a few on the Spro Little John, the biggest one of the day. It was about 2.5, not a bad fish. And then the rest of the day, after about 9 o'clock, it's about 12:30 now, but after about 8:30, 9 o'clock, the shaky head took over. That's where most of my fish come on the shaky head. I caught one on the spinnerbait, missed a lot on spinnerbait. The topwaters, I could not get a fish to commit. It's a shad spawn going on right now, guys, so get out there. If you're not in the tournament, get out there like 4 o'clock in the morning. You can catch them when it's dark. Shad are spawning like crazy. I even seen tiny newborn shad already. So I mean, the water temperature is about 74 right now, and the shad are spawning. Blueback herring are probably spawning. And if you got a tournament like the Eastern Open this weekend, I would suggest just hitting a couple main link points or any hard structure like riprap before you make the run, because the first hour they're going to be killing. After that, it's going to be tough to catch them. You just be flipping docks and hope you get a big fish. I mean, you catch bigger fish with a jig than you would a shaky head, but it wasn't a bad day. I still caught about 15 fish. I can't complain. Just nothing big. The bigger fish are moving back out into the main lake, and they're going to be hard to catch, and they're more nocturnal than anything. I need to start night fishing. The next time I come out here, I'll probably be maybe night fishing if I can get it on camera. I'm going to try a little nighttime bass fishing. Maybe on a good cloudy, rainy day would be a good way to catch them, but I'd like to catch them on topwater. So next time I'm out here, it'll probably be at nighttime. And we'll see you on the next video.